your wife accusing a guy of sexual harassment, right? That's why it's no laughing matter, sexual harassment.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, grilled on Blake Lively in contentious interview.
Say with certainty that your client did not harass her?
I can say that with certainty that my client is one of the most honorable people.
Ready for a tale so twisted it could rock Hollywood? Blake Lively's reputation now buzzes with controversy, tangled in a legal clash that feels stranger than fiction. Fans and insiders are watching, wondering how deep the story really goes.
A huge win for Justin Baldoni. He sat down and chatted in a new podcast interview. And he had a lot to say and wanted to emphasize that Justin Baldoni is truly a good guy. And that he was not happy with all of the negative press that Blake Brown was getting around the release of...
Behind Hollywood's polished glamour, a quiet storm is brewing, one strong enough to shake Tinseltown's core. What began as whispers has exploded into a controversy so intense it has top executives, PR giants, and A-listers scrambling for cover. This isn't just a lawsuit. It's a rare look into Hollywood's hidden machinery where fame, power, and money collide. Beneath the red carpets lies a ruthless game of influence and survival, and this unfolding drama is exposing it all.
Even in her own CRD complaint and in her own initial filed complaint, it says that everything was fine from that point on. So now we're really limited to nothing more ultimately than was there a smear campaign.
Yes. Okay.
In the CRD complaint and in the first filing of the lawsuit with the Southern District of New York, the allegations in the complaint say once the 17-point list was agreed to, everything from then on was fine.
It began as a seemingly simple story. Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl, and half of a famed power couple, accused her co-star of harassment on a major blockbuster set. Normally, such claims would shake the industry, but what shocked everyone was how quickly the media turned on Justin Baldoni. Almost overnight, a once-respected rising star was branded a villain, his reputation shattered and career hanging by a thread.
Of the complaint was done in coordination with the Times. I don't have evidence of that, but I assume that the story was timed to go right when it was filed.
15 hours. A lot of those are sleep hours.
Okay.
For those that sleep. A lot of those are on a holiday weekend on a Friday night. Yes. At 9 o'clock at night. For those
that is, I will give you that. That is a shady move. If you're working on a story for months and you're giving somebody notice on a Friday night, that's a pretty...
Justin Baldoni's sudden fall from grace felt ripped from a Hollywood thriller. One day he was a respected rising star, the next a pariah. But instead of fading away, Justin struck back with a shocking $400 million defamation lawsuit. At first, it seemed outrageous. How could a said accusation spiral into such a massive counterattack? The answer lay behind the scenes. WME, led by power broker Ari Emanuel, swiftly cut ties with Justin after Blake Lively's allegations surfaced. Overnight, he lost one of Hollywood's most powerful allies, his professional lifeline. To outsiders, it looked like he was being erased in real time. But the lawsuit showed a man refusing to go down quietly, hinting this was far bigger than anyone imagined.
Upload of documents, Blake leverages her friendship with Taylor Swift against Baldoni. She says, I'm like Khaleesi, Game of Thrones, and my husband Ryan and my best friend Taylor are my dragons. They inspire me, they support me. Well, Taylor has been silent, not a peep.
Emanuel soon spoke publicly on a popular podcast, praising Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds while casting Justin Baldoni in a darker light. To casual listeners, it sounded principled, but Hollywood insiders know morality often bows to money. Ryan Reynolds is a top box office draw, and by extension, Blake's value soars with his. Justin, lacking that financial pull, was the easier sacrifice. Then came the real twist. Baldoni's legal team unveiled over 100 pages of internal messages and private texts. These weren't routine exchanges, but evidence of a coordinated PR assault. The documents suggested Blake's camp went beyond legal claims, orchestrating a full-scale takedown of Justin's reputation. What once seemed like a simple dispute now looked like a calculated ambush.
Has been silent, not a peep from Taylor. You know what I mean? Look, Question for the women out there. If you tell your best friend you were sexually harassed by a guy, wouldn't you hope that that dragon would breathe a little fire on that jerk in your defense? Morris's CEO, Ari Emanuel, made it seem like a moral act of loyalty, like that exists in Hollywood. He heaped praise on Ryan and Blake as soulfully beautiful people.
In the leaked texts, Blake Lively allegedly called herself a mother of dragons, claiming Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift were her dragons, ready to breathe fire on Justin Baldoni's reputation. The phrase sounded surreal, but in Hollywood, where narrative control is power, it wasn't far-fetched. What truly unsettled observers was the hint that the strategy had been brewing for months, a calculated plan to corner Baldoni before he even knew it. Ryan, if one of those dragons, made his loyalty clear, publicly backing Blake and even joking about the scandal on SNL. But Taylor Swift, the other dragon, stayed silent. For someone known for turning conflicts into chart-topping songs, her quietness was deafening. Many wondered, if she truly believed Blake, would she have stayed silent? Her absence only deepened doubts that Blake's claims were as solid as they first appeared.
Unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that.
Another twist emerged when the New York Times, once a symbol of journalistic integrity, was accused of aligning with Blake Lively's PR machine. Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, claimed the paper had been preparing a damaging piece for months, releasing it late on a Friday holiday weekend, a timing too perfect to be coincidence. Baldoni had just 15 hours to respond before headlines painted him the villain and Blake the aggrieved heroine. Observers called it a masterclass in media ambush, drop a bomb when the public's distracted, leaving no time for defense. But Baldoni's team didn't stay silent. They struck back with a sweeping defamation suit against both Blake and the New York Times. If he proves a major newspaper joined a coordinated smear campaign, it could redefine how defamation law holds celebrities and media giants accountable.
That was not very positive about the alleged nose job recipient. Alleged.
The stakes in this clash are massive, not just financial but reputational. The New York Times, long seen as a pillar of credibility, now faces a lawsuit that could expose willful deceit and redefine how the media handles celebrity scandals. To understand how it reached this point, we rewind to the film set where it all began, a highly anticipated adaptation pairing Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Early press hailed their chemistry, but whispers soon hinted at tension. Blake later claimed the set became so hostile, she felt forced to take legal action. Yet Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, argues that if her claims were real, she would have filed HR complaints. Instead, he alleges, she coordinated with PR teams to shape the story, echoing the infamous Dragon texts, where Blake likened herself to a queen commanding Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her fire-breathing defenders. Friedman says much of Blake's evidence relied on vague, unnamed sources that major outlets refused to print until the New York Times dropped its explosive piece. He claims the paper worked with Blake's team to craft a headline-grabbing narrative, releasing it over a holiday weekend to cripple Baldoni's ability to respond. Meanwhile, WME, one of Hollywood's most powerful agencies, cut ties with Baldoni as soon as Blake's allegations surfaced. Friedman argues it wasn't about morality but money. Ryan Reynolds, a major WME client and marketing powerhouse behind Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile, was simply too valuable to risk. Ari Emanuel, WME's chief, publicly praised Blake and Ryan on a podcast while subtly condemning Baldoni, inflicting serious reputational damage. By then, Baldoni was branded a pariah. His projects collapsed under speculation as the scandal blurred the line between serious legal drama and surreal PR theater. The controversy deepened when Ryan Reynolds joked about the lawsuit during SNL's 50th anniversary special, a move widely slammed as tone-deaf. Critics asked, if Blake's trauma was genuine, why turn it into comedy? Even at the after-party, celebrities reportedly kept their distance. Public sentiment began shifting. Fans questioned why Taylor Swift, known for defending Friends, remained silent, why Blake never filed official complaints, and why this lawsuit erupted precisely when Baldoni's career was rising. Doubt crept in, and sympathy began to fade. Why did Blake's PR team coordinate with the New York Times to drop a damning article over a holiday weekend, if not to hinder Justin Baldoni's ability to respond? And an even darker question looms. Could this case signal the weaponization of the hashtag #MeToo movement for personal or professional gain? A chilling thought that risks discrediting real victims everywhere. Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, capitalized on this unease, dismantling parts of Blake's story and revealing that her team allegedly held damaging material for months, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash it. The goal: ensure Baldoni's name trended worldwide in the worst light, forcing studios and sponsors to cut ties. The plan worked, at least briefly. His projects collapsed, and endorsement deals vanished overnight. But instead of retreating, Friedman struck back with a $400 million defamation suit, less about money than vindication. He demanded not just damages, but public acknowledgement that the accusations were misleading or malicious. The message was clear: Hollywood must think twice before convicting someone in the court of public opinion. Yet the risk cuts both ways. If Baldoni loses, it could embolden others to use media outrage as a weapon, proof that headlines destroy faster than facts. Blake's team fired back with subpoenas for 2 years of Baldoni's phone records, hoping to uncover anything damaging. Friedman countered by demanding communications between Blake, her PR team, and the New York Times, a move that, if granted, could expose the blueprint of how celebrity narratives are crafted and weaponized. The implications stretch far beyond one scandal. Hollywood thrives on image, and accusations often equal conviction before any proof. The case raises urgent questions. Should agencies side with their biggest earners, regardless of evidence? Do media outlets owe accused parties a fair chance to respond? And can audiences trust stories shaped by PR spin and corporate interest? As contradictions mount, public outrage has shifted to skepticism. Why were some allegations never formally filed? Why has Taylor Swift, named one of Blake's dragons, stayed silent? Why did Ryan Reynolds turn trauma into a joke? Every misstep opens the door for Baldoni to reclaim his narrative, casting himself not as the villain, but the victim of a calculated takedown backed by Hollywood power players and a complicit media. Still, insiders warn that both sides may be manipulating the truth. In the court of public opinion, patience is scarce, and Blake now faces a defining crossroads. If more evidence suggests she engineered a smear campaign, studios may think twice before hiring her. Because in Hollywood, reputation is currency, and not even Ryan Reynolds' unwavering support can protect her if she's seen as exploiting the hashtag #MeToo movement for gain. As the lawsuit escalates, Hollywood holds its breath, waiting to see whether this battle goes to trial or disappears behind the iron walls of a secret settlement. Justin Baldoni seems determined to let the world see what he calls proof of a conspiracy, raising the possibility of a public spectacle unlike anything in recent Hollywood history. Because this time, it's not just about harassment allegations, it's about A-list names, media collusion, PR manipulation, and the possible downfall of one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses. So the question remains, is Blake Lively's reign nearing its end, or does she still have one last ace up her sleeve? She still commands a loyal fan base, powerful allies, and industry influence, enough to shift public perception again with the right spin. In Hollywood, truth often takes a back seat to the story being sold. But disillusionment now shadows Blake's once golden image. And while crisis management could, in theory, save her career, the mounting evidence in Baldoni's corner suggests her era of unstoppable stardom may be fading. Hollywood has little patience for controversy, no matter how bankable the star. This saga leaves us questioning everything. Is Blake a brave woman seeking justice, or the architect of a ruthless smear campaign? Until the courts decide, the public is left piecing together leaks, interviews, and timed press drops. Each new revelation reshapes who the real victim might be. The deeper truth goes beyond either star. It exposes Hollywood's darker machinery, where image is power and truth is a pawn in a $1 million game of influence. Baldoni's battleground isn't a studio or a press tour, it's a courtroom. A high-stakes arena where he's challenging an empire that once tried to erase him. His fight is a wake-up call. How easily we side with public idols before hearing both sides. How quickly accusations become fact in a culture ruled by hashtags and viral outrage. The lesson? hold judgment until every fact surfaces, because when it does, it could reshape how Hollywood and the media wield their power to create or destroy careers. A potential trial now looms like the climax of a blockbuster, promising more leaks, more testimony, and brutal cross-examinations. If a jury sides with Baldoni, the shockwaves could upend the industry, proving that false or inflated claims come at a steep price. But if Blake prevails, it may cement the power of PR to shape truth itself. For now, the storm shows no sign of fading. Each new leak and denial forces the public to choose sides in what may become the defining Hollywood scandal of the decade. Because in the end, this isn't just about Blake or Justin. It's about control, reputation, and the uncomfortable reality that in Hollywood, perception is everything, and truth is often the first casualty.